A banking firm is building an NLP system using an AWS Lambda function that calls Amazon Bedrock models to analyze customer trade questions. The analysis generates large outputs of over 4 megabytes and takes 15 to 20 seconds to complete. The system must provide initial responses to users in under 10 seconds. Additionally, financial compliance rules require maintaining audit logs for 10 years. Which of the following architectures satisfies these constraints?
Option A. Enable response streaming to render incremental output chunks. Configure a 15-second timeout on the Lambda function. Turn on AWS X-ray tracing. Option B. Utilize Amazon SQS for asynchronous processing. Configure a 30-second timeout on the Lambda function. Use Amazon CloudWatch for monitoring.
Option C. Deploy Amazon API Gateway with polling and Amazon Elasticache. Configure a 30-second timeout on the Lambda function. Collect detailed CloudWatch logs. Option D. Enable response streaming to render incremental output chunks. Configure a 30-second timeout on the Lambda function. Persist full response payloads in Amazon S3.
When evaluating this scenario, consider the impact of execution timeouts on long-running processes within Lambda functions. Reflect on how specific architectural patterns, like response streaming, can influence user experience in high-latency scenarios. Finally, think about which AWS storage services are best suited for long-term data archival and audit compliance, keeping in mind the data volume requirements presented.
In my view, the correct answer is option D. This architecture is effective because it leverages response streaming to deliver partial outputs to the end user quickly, meeting the 10-second threshold even though the full generation takes up to 20 seconds. Setting the Lambda timeout to 30 seconds is crucial, as it provides enough headroom for the process to complete, whereas a 15-second limit in option A would likely lead to premature function termination.
Furthermore, persisting the full payloads in Amazon S3 is the right move for satisfying the 10-year audit log retention requirement mandated by financial regulations. Regarding the other choices, options B and C fail to implement the necessary streaming mechanism needed to meet the initial response time constraint. Ultimately, option D provides the most robust path for balancing performance needs with long-term storage and compliance requirements.